his diary, Columbus said they were a handsome, smart, and kind people. He noted that the gentle Arawaks were remarkable for their hospitality. They offered to share with anyone who, when they asked for something, they never said no, he said. The Arawaks had no weapons. The society had neither criminals, prisons, nor prisoners. Alright? So they was a civilized people, man. They were so kind-hearted that Columbus noted in his diary that on the day of the Santa Maria was shipwrecked, the Arawaks labored for hours to save his crew and cargo. The native people were so honest that not one thing was missing. But, you know, today they like to portray us as a bunch of thieves, murderers, liars, wicked, alright? But that's not in our nature, man, alright? Because we Israelites. Columbus was so impressed with the hard work of these gentle islanders that he immediately seized their land for Spain and enslaved them to work his brutal gold mines. Within only 2 years, 125,000, half of the population of the original natives of the island, were dead. If I were a Native American, I would mark October 12, 1492 as a black day on my calendar. Shockingly, Columbus supervised the selling of native girls into sexual slavery. Alright? But you know who's not gonna bring this out? Nathaniel 7, man. Alright? Nathaniel 7. Yeah, I'm calling you out, man. Cause you niggas shut down my page, man. Cause y'all going off, man. You wanna call us the Great Molestation Squad, alright, making mockery of us brothers in GMS, but we bringing out this facts that Esau, the so-called white man, the devil, he was doing these things to our people, man, and he still do it today, having sex slaves, man, alright, and is the leader in sex trading, man. But you ain't gonna bring that out. But you want to call us a bunch of molesters and stuff, man. Deaf to you simple ass niggas, man. Young girls of the age of 9 and 10 were the most desirable by his men. Alright? Now today, because they put so much damn hormones and chemicals in the food, alright, it's causing these young girls to develop faster. But at that time, a woman will develop around what? 13, alright, 14, 15, alright? But they was taking little girls that was 9 and 10, man. So they wasn't developed at that time. Were the most desirable by his men. And in 1500, Columbus casually wrote about it in his log, saying he said 100 castellones, which is money, are as easily obtained for a woman as for a farm, and it is very general, and there are plenty of dealers who go about looking for girls. Those from 9 to 10 are now in demand. Fucking devil, man. That's why we're gonna destroy you, so-called. He forced these peaceable natives work in his gold mines until they died of exhaustion. If the Indian workers did not deliver his full quota of gold dust by Columbus' deadline, soldiers would cut off the man's hands and tie them around his neck to send a message. Slavery was so intolerable for these sweet, gentle island people that at one point 100 of them committed mass suicide. Catholic law forbid the enslavement of Christians, but Columbus solved this problem. He simply refused to baptize the native people of Hispaniola. So he was let me get this scripture, man. Alright. Y'all want to call it says the murderer rising with the light killeth the poor and needy, and in the night is as a thief. Alright, the murderer, alright, is talking about, is making reference to this devil right here, Columbus, man. He's a murderer. What's the light? The light is the word, the scriptures. and killeth the poor and needy. The poor and needy are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And in the night, all right, is as a thief. All right, and he stole, man. Damn devil, man. He simply refused to baptize the native people of Hispaniola. On his second trip to the New World, Columbus brought cannons and attack dogs. If a native resists slavery, he would cut off a nose or an ear. If slaves tried to escape, Columbus had them burnt alive. Okay. Other times, he sent attack dogs to hunt them down, and the dogs would tear off the arms and legs of the screaming natives while they were still alive. If the Spaniards ran short of meat to feed the dogs, Arawak babies were killed for dog food. Fucking devils, man. Right? Nahum chapter 3 verse 10. Yet was she carried away, talking about the nation of Israel, she went into captivity. Her young children also were dashed to pieces in the top of all the streets, and they cast lots for her honorable men, and all her great men were bound in chains. Alright. Alright. Okay, Hosea 8:1. Set the trumpet to thy mouth. He shall come as an eagle against the house of God. The eagle represents Esau, you so-called white people, against the house of the Lord, which is the children of Israel, because they have transgressed my covenant and trespassed against my laws. Israel shall cry unto me, my God, we know thee. Israel hath cast off the thing that is good, the enemy shall pursue him. And that's what happened. Alright? Alright? This is Hosea 9:13. It says, Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place. But Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer. Alright? And it says right here in this article, alright, if the Spaniards ran short of meat to feed the dogs, Arawak babies were killed for dog food. Fucking devils, man. That's why, man, I can't wait till that time comes. We gonna fuck you up, man. We gonna fuck you goddamn devils up, man. We gonna do we gonna do this until you double, man. Alright? Just prepare for that. Get your mind right, man. Alright? Cause we gonna fuck you up, man. Alright? This is Alright, this is Hosea 13:15. Though he be fruitful among his brethren, an east wind shall come, the wind of the Lord shall come up from the wilderness, and his springs shall become dry, his fountains shall be dried up. He shall spoil the treasures of all his pleasant vessels. Samaria, which is represented in the northern kingdom, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, shall become desolate, for she hath rebelled against her God. They shall fall by the sword, their infants shall be dashed to pieces, and their wives with child shall be ripped up. And that's what happened with when these devils came, man. Alright? Columbus' acts of cruelty were so unspeakable and so legendary, even in his own day, that Governor Francisco de Bobadilla arrested Columbus and his two brothers, slapping them into chains and shipping them off to Spain to answer for their crimes against the Arawak. But the king and queen of Spain, their treasury filled up with gold, pardoned Columbus and let him go free. Right? So, you know, man, That's wicked, man. Alright, they let him go free. That's wicked. One of Columbus' men, Bartolome de las Casas, was so mortified by Columbus' brutal atrocities against the native peoples that he quit working for Columbus and became a Catholic priest. He described how the Spaniards under Columbus' command cut off the legs of children who ran from them to test the sharpness of their blades. According to de las Casas, the men made bets as to who, with one sweep of his sword, could cut a person in half. He says that Columbus' men poured people full of boiling soap. In a single day, de las Casas was an eyewitness as the Spanish soldiers dismembered, beheaded, or raped 3,000 native people, man. Such inhumanities and barbarism were committed in my sight as no age can propel. De las Casas wrote, "My eyes have seen these acts so foreign to human nature that now I tremble as I write." De las Casas spent the rest of his life trying to protect the helpless native people, but after a while there were no more natives to protect. Experts generally agree that before 1492 the population on the island of Hispaniola, right, which is where you had the Dominican Republic, and an island of the West Indies east of Colombia, divided between Haiti and Dominican Republic. So this was what was happening to the tribe of Simeon, you so-called Dominicans. All right, this is what the so-called white man did to you, man. All right, Barakatha Yahweh Shem Al Shai, he raised up a brother on there on that island, and may he increase that brother's faith and raise up even more brothers on that island. Cause you Jakes over there, man, you must have forgot, man. You forgot what happened to you. All right, so you better get right before y'all get destroyed, man. This is probably numbers about 3 million. Within 20 years of Spanish arrival, it was reduced to only 60,000. Within 50 years, not a single original native inhabitant could be found. Yeah. Okay, here we go. In 1516, Spanish historian Peter Martyr wrote, "A ship without compass, chart, or guide, but only following the trail of dead Indians who had been thrown from ships, could find its way from Bahamas to Hispaniola." Alright, so even they was doing this to you so-called Latinos and Native Americans, just like they did to the tribe of Judah when they were throwing them over the ship. Alright, but who could say that they was not only throwing dead bodies of sick people over, but also those who was alive, man? It wouldn't shock me if they did, because they the devil, man. Christopher Columbus derived most of his income from slavery. Alright, let me get that scripture one more time. Alright. Right. Zechariah 11:4 says, "Thus saith the Lord my power, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not." Alright, and it says, Christopher Columbus derived most of his income from slavery. De las Casas note, in fact, Columbus was the first slave trader in the Americas. As the native slaves died off, they were replaced with black slaves. Columbus' son became the first African slave trader in 1505. Which goes back to what counted? Is it in this one? They say that. Yep. The earliest record of Native Americans and African contact occurred in April 1502, when Spanish colonists transported the first Africans to Hispaniola to serve as slaves. Alright.